Hey, what is going on, crypto people? I don't know if this is working or not. Hopefully, this live stream is working the way it's supposed to work. Yeah, so I got the word on the street. You guys are good with me doing a live stream. Somebody, I think it was Pookie was like, "Seeds, just do the live stream." I was like, I don't know if I should do a live stream. I'm not sure on my face. No video. I mean, just sharing the screen. Is that going to work? That'd be good. Like one of the first comments I got was, "Seeds, just do the live stream." Just do the live stream. So, okay, happy Saturday to each and every one of you. I don't know what's going on, but Ripple announcing Axelar's announcement is interesting to me. Very interesting. Flare Networks SparkDex. SparkDex is .ai on Flare Networks. They're going to be version 3.1. That is going to be interesting. Good to see them updating. Maybe we'll help some people kind of exit some liquidity positions and re-enter in V3.1. Maybe we'll do that as well. But in any case, happy Saturday. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way in. I'm sharing the screen. I hope I'm sharing what I should be sharing. I hope it works the way it's supposed to work. I wonder what's going to come up when I share it like this. Actually, our network has big plans for the XRPL. Very, 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 very interesting video from David Schwartz, and I guess one of the CTOs at XLR, founder of XLR. I did not know his background with Algorand. I did not know that. That is very, very interesting. We'll cover that as well. Again, happy Saturday. I know a lot of you guys are probably watching college football. I think we got some MLB freaking college. Major League Baseball playoffs is going on. What's going on, Alex G? Alex Wright, how are you, bro? Yo, Siege, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too, bro. Live stream with no video. Can't see the grill. Alex Wright says watching UFC tonight. Oh, I hear you. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Interesting Saturday, I gotta tell you. The more and more I think about this Axelar announcements, did you hear about that? The more I think, wow, what an interesting play. I'm going to cover Axelar's version of that announcement. And they talk about collateral being used. Made me automatically think about Flare Networks. Pookie, I'm doing it. Live stream, no video, bro. You said do it, I'm doing it. The RFLR drops today. They came today. Okay. We got to go to what? To portal.flare.network for that. Yeah. Brother Crypto's in the building. Siege, happy Saturday. Speaking of baseball, how about them Tigers? Yes, indeed. I think the Tigers are doing well, right? Who are the Yankees playing? No, they're not playing the Tigers, are they? I don't even know. It's a game coming on. Oh, is it on? 6:30 Eastern. It's about to come on. It's on. It's on. Yes, indeed. Get them RFLR rewards. We're gonna go over that. We'll do some F asset beta testing as well with BTC. But guys, did you catch the interview with David Schwartz and the CTO, founder, co-founder of Axelar? I don't know, but it's a big play. It's a really, really big play. I know XRP bags, man. Like I think the day of the announcement from Ripple and Axelar, I saw a video of XRP bags buying the Axelar token back then. Yeah. I don't know if that was the best price, but I know he got in on Axelar back then. Like the day of the announcement, he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting some of these things." I don't know if he's familiar with the Cosmos ecosystem or not, but he snatched up some AXL tokens. What's going on with the market, fam? I'm sure it's just doing what it does. I'm sure it's just doing it. I'm thinking about exiting my neutron position in the Cosmos ecosystem. I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it. All right, let me refresh. Get CoinGecko going up and running. Let me wait for a few more people to hop on. We're going to go over these numbers. Appreciate you guys checking in for sure. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Yeah, so SparkDex V3.1 is live. You got to exit your liquidity from 3.0. You got to exit it, withdraw it, exit it. And then once it's exited completely on your self-custodial spot, then you can just click V.3.1 and redeposit in 3.1. Okay, redeposit in 3.1. Yesterday, I tried to do that, and one of the pools was not showing up that I was in. I was like, I said, should I trouble them now? You know, the first day of going from 3.0 to 3.1, they're probably going to have their hands tied, probably be really, really busy. So I said, yeah, I'll wait till tomorrow, see what's good. And, you know, first thing this morning, there it was. There it was. There it was. So I'm exited out of all of the pools now and got it on a self-custodial, and we'll re-enter on 3.1. Maybe we'll do it together. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes if we got viewers in the stream. And if you happen to be in the top, what is it, 55%, 50% of people or so who are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Seeds and haven't subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get that number down from 50% down to about 25%. And you can do your part by hitting that like button right now and come hang out with the Crypto Seeds and fam. Oh my goodness, brother Crypto. I was going to post that. Wow. I was going to post that. I was going to retweet Ripple's announcing of Axelar's announcement. And I was going to say exactly that. Seems like there's a there. Brother Crypto. There is definitely a there with XRP. I don't think, no, the SEC would waste this much time and resources for a run of the mill crap coin, adding to my bags. I hear you. Adding to your XRP bags? I hear you, brother Crypto. I hear you. But I was going to say, that's so funny. I was going to say, there's definitely a there. Like Ripple announcing Axelar's announcement. Ripple announcing Axelar's announcement. I thought that was interesting. Anyone else find that oddly curious or fascinating? I was like, that's interesting to me. And then we're going to cover Axelar's announcement on X, and they go over some collateralization with the Axelar token. I'm like, that kind of sounds familiar. Collateralization for security. That kind of sounds familiar. I wonder where I've heard that before. Interesting. It was really, really interesting. All right. So, guys, I appreciate you guys checking in. Let's go over these numbers real quick. I signed up for Real Vision Plus. I hope you guys did do that. I think it's a great place and great resource. I got to get really, really familiar with it. I had the free version for a minute and decided to get a paid version at a discount. Because I think it's really, really valuable stuff. All right, let's go here to CoinGecko. Let me refresh this again. It says Bitcoin is 62K again. All right, so there it is. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is down 1.4% and is at 2.25 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is at 55% or so. Bitcoin is trading at $62,000 again. But on the 30-day, Bitcoin is up 10.5%. Ethereum is trading at $2,400 again. And on the 30-day, it's up 1.9%. Solana is trading at $142 again. What the world? On the 30-day, Solana is up 10%. XRP is trading at 53 cents again. And on the 30-day, XRP is down 2.6%. There it is, fam. The market is just doing what the market does. Why is AVAX or freaking AVOX up 19% on the 30-day? I have two AVAX. Well, yeah. Well, no, I have one AVAX and another gaming play. I was thinking about combining them into one play. You know what I mean? But anyway, there's the market. Anything interesting in here? Nothing really to note. I mean, obviously, SWE is just, climbing up the ladder there. Just climbing the freaking ladders up 118% on a 30-day. BitTensor's up 136% on a 30-day. Interesting. I never got into BitTensor. There's Pepe. 6 figures. I mean, 6 figures. 3. But I heard that Zahao was up 100 and something percent. The Zahao token. Did you guys hear that? I remember I bridged some whatever for some Zahao and I sold it back. So there it is, fam. The market again, just doing what the freaking market does. It's good to see dog with hat up 45% on a 30-day. I don't have enough of anything to make that significant, but I do have some dog with hat. So, well, yeah, that's the market, man. That is the freaking market right there. It's just doing what it does. Say it's up 50%, 53% on the 30-day. Hope you guys got your bags packed because we're getting ready, I believe, to get into some serious movement. I know October hasn't been Uptober as of yet, but we're still early. It's only the 5th of the month. Undo, the RWA play is up 24% on the 30-day. That's nice to see. I would love to see Jasmine Coin do a lot better than this. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so there it is. It's the market. Let me say hey to some more folks before I hop into some of the news. Brother Crypto says, if stocks are securities and if stocks are tokenized on a ledger, the token used for the tokenization would inherit all the attributes of a security. Yeah. What's going on, SPJR? How are you, my friend? Yo, Siege, question. I got Bifrost and staked the wrap FLR. What's another way I can get passive gains with FLR? Well, SPJR, it all depends on what you mean by passive. You could go to Scepter .finance, SCEPTR, and you could liquid stake your FLR. Yep, on Scepter, you can liquid stake it. Alex Wright says the market is fixing to go crazy. I think so too, bro. I really, really do. I really, 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 really do. Let me go over a couple of news, then we're going to go to the portal. Listen, I know I said this in the video, but I just want to report it again. Elon Musk retweeted Wall Street Silver's post because the Wall Street Silver said, we did it. New record amount of United States government debt on the first day of the government's fiscal year, $204 billion in one day. One day. Elon retweeted that and said America is headed for bankruptcy. That's just not a great look. What's going on? It's not a great look. Which one do I want to cover first? Oh, let's do Spend a Bit. Spend a Bit's just making some moves. Good for them. That they did their stuff on the XRPL. You can put Bitcoin on there, all kinds of stuff, right? So they got an announcement. Spend the Bits, empowering El Salvador with a new Bitcoin and USDC payment app. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Combo, founder and CEO of Spend the Bits, and I'm beyond excited to share some big news with you. After months of hard work, our team has finished developing a sleek new UI for our app, and we're just weeks away from launching it in El Salvador. El Salvador is at the forefront of a digital financial revolution, and we're proud to be part of it. With Bitcoin as legal tender and a growing demand for digital assets like USDC, we knew we had to build something that truly meets the needs of businesses and everyday users. Our app isn't just about transactions, it's about changing lives. We've created a platform that gives control back to the people. And the IMF, by the way, is trying to take back that control with the people of El Salvador. I'll share that in a second. Enabling faster, cheaper, and more secure payments at the tap of a button. And whether you're a merchant or a consumer, you can choose how you settle your payments with direct US dollar options for ultimate convenience. How about that? Good for you. Here's why I believe this is a game changer. Built on the Flare network. Built on the Flare network. I thought they were using the XRPL. In any case, built on the Flare network, the app supports multi-chain digital assets, including USDC, meaning speed, security, and flexibility like never before. With 70% of the population unbanked. What population? What population? In El Salvador? Anyway, we're bridging the gap. We're bridging that gap. Our app enables anyone with a mobile phone to access modern financial services without the need for traditional banks. Instant settlement in just 3 to 5 seconds. No waiting, no worries. Whether you're sending Bitcoin or USDC, you're in control of your money in real time. But this is about more than just technology. It's about empowering a nation. I spent years in the fintech space, and I can't express how deeply I believe in the potential of digital assets to change the financial landscape, especially in regions like El Salvador. Our goal is to help people take ownership of their money, to make payments easy, fair, and accessible to all. This is just the beginning of a journey we're taking with you. This is just the beginning of a journey we're taking with you. Whether you're a business owner looking to simplify payments or someone wanting an easy, fast, and secure way to pay, we've built Spend the Bits to serve you. Thank you for your trust and support. We're counting down the days until we can share this incredible experience with all of you. Stay tuned for the official launch. Like I thought, I mean, it's awesome they're on Flare, but I thought this was on the XRPL. See someone saying that too. I'm telling you, that's some good stuff. But he said it, built on Flare Networks, fam. He said it, built on Flare Networks. I think it's that's how you spell it, my guy. Let me pull up that scepter, make sure. We don't want you going to some phishing site, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yep. app.scepter.fi. Yep. Why is everything capital? And you got the liquid staking FLR. Then you can take it to SparkDex. You could take it to Kinetic Markets and just compound, my friend, compound. So, I mean, that's big freaking news, bro. That's big news. That's big news, man. El Salvador. I don't know what's going on. You're welcome, SPJR. I don't know what's going on in the background there, but that's very encouraging to see what they're able to do with the people for El Salvador. Now, remember, Naive had said, they were giving them the option of the dollar and Bitcoin. Now it's going to be the dollar, Bitcoin, and USDC. And look, you got to stop the bleeding first. So it's going to be stables of some sort, USDC or the dollar. Eventually, once they shore up some stuff, they get some ground, there's some footing underneath them, right? They can stop the bleeding. They can get access. They can get comfortable. Then they'll venture to Bitcoin and other digital assets. But right now, they need access, right? So shout out to Jay and the team over at freaking Spend the Bits for doing that. But speaking of El Salvador, the IMF has some other plans. I'm like, what the world? Take a listen to this. They're trying to get them to chill on Bitcoin. Now, do you wonder why? Well, take a listen. She had 2 or 3 people ask her about El Salvador and Bitcoin. And so she started asking, are there any more people, any more questions about that? When she finally got 3 or 4, she decided to read this statement about El Salvador, them trying to come together with the IMF and come to some kind of reasonable agreement. And Bitcoin is the IMF's issue.
So on El Salvador, IMF staff have ongoing engagement with the Salvadorian authorities, and the objective is to reach agreement on a new IMF-supported program that would help with macroeconomic stabilization and adjustment, and also growth-enhancing reforms. Ongoing discussions are focused on policies to strengthen reforms that can be used to boost productivity and economic governance. Addressing risks arising from Bitcoin is a key element of these discussions. And of course, the goal is for the fund to be in a position to support a credible and well-sequenced policy package that is designed by the authorities. With respect to the details on Bitcoin, what we have recommended is a narrowing of the scope of the Bitcoin law, strengthening the regulatory framework and oversight of the Bitcoin ecosystem, and limiting public sector exposure to Bitcoin.
Limiting public sector exposure to Bitcoin. Think about that. She can't even look people in the eye. What is their concern? What risk they feel like the people are exposed to here? This is clearly them feeling threatened by the idea of people having their own control over their own money and their own choices. This is clearly what that is about. And it's actually really, really scary. El Salvador has done a lot of things right. And I'm sure they'll figure out what's the real, Naib is really smart, and he knows that they're not out for him and the people. They're not looking out for them. The IMF wants what's best for the IMF. And Naib has been educated, and he's smart enough to know on the IMF. He's been educated on the IMF, but he's smart enough to know that the IMF wants more countries beholden to the IMF and the World Bank. That's what they want. That's what they ultimately want. It's no good, no good, no good, no good. organization, in my opinion. So let me cover this news, because this is fascinating to me, what Ripple did here. Let's see. So here it is right here. Ripple announces Axelar's announcement. Says, Ripple X Dev says, bringing Web3 to traditional finance was meant to break down the siloed, opaque systems of the past in favor of open, transparent blockchain rails. However, without seamless interoperability, we only get part of the way there. Different blockchains serve specific purposes and niches. And to fully unlock the potential of real-world asset tokenization and financial use cases, cross-chain asset mobility and protocol access are crucial. By integrating the XRPL, the XRP ledger with Mobius, we are moving another step closer to unlocking the value for both users and developers, enabling them to leverage new opportunities for interoperability and build and operate on a truly decentralized network. It's interesting. This is from Jazzy, the head of product at Ripple X. It's fascinating. Let me refresh this. Vet responded here. Yeah, it says, great news on the interoperability front. I can see the XRPL stablecoin solving their interoperability with ETH via Axelar. So it's interesting. So let me read this Axelar thing here and tell me if some of this stuff doesn't sound familiar. It says, Axelar Network, a renaissance awaits beyond the cosmos, right? So Axelar is in the Cosmos hub, right? In that ecosystem. Beyond the cosmos, beyond Ethereum, beyond what you thought was possible in Web3, everything connected. Imagine how great we could be. The stakes have never been higher. The promise has never been greater. Liquidity, tokenization, compute, security, composability, programmability, community. Introducing the XLR Mobius Development Stack, MDS, a new interoperability standard. It's a new interoperability standard coming to an ecosystem you love. Axelar MDS, developed by Interop Labs, is a new interoperability standard leveraging enhanced the Axelar token utility to power infinite security and scalability, right? As blockchain-based applications scale, they require increasing compute capabilities and seek to develop increasing degree of chain abstraction to connect new communities and assets seamlessly. Oracles and restaking improve the compute capabilities of blockchain, oracles and restaking, and allow developers to build modular stacks. Built on their own, they tend to fragment user experiences. First-generation interoperability networks can provide a degree of chain abstraction, but do not offer unified developer frameworks or scale to hundreds of blockchains. Dynamic connections, now on mainnet. Interchain amplifier introduces a novel security approach, leveraging the Axelar token in new ways to scale security across thousands of connections with communities like Flow Blockchain, Hedera, Solana, Ripple, XRP Ledger, Stellar. It says plus Sui network is set to connect. So it looks like Flow and the XRPL and Stellar or Solana, but it says plus SUI. So it looks like they're making that happen as well. Listen to this. It says new connections are encoded at the smart contract layer, incentivizing groups of verifiers with reward pools of the Axelar token, which is AXL. Does that sound familiar? Verifiers post AXL as collateral to provide an economic guarantee of security that scales across thousands of interconnected blockchain connections. Doesn't that sound familiar? Incentivizing groups of verifiers with reward pools of AXL. Where do you have that before? Reward pools of the token. And these verifiers post the token as collateral. Where have you heard that? Where have you heard that, brother crypto? That sounds a lot like Flare Networks to me. Van Decken is in the building. How are you, Van Decken? I don't think I've seen that name before. Where are you checking in from, Van? Van says, as it happens, I have a nice FLR pack. Nice. Soon it will be Ripple stablecoin. Nice, bro. Nice. Pookie Pookie's like, yep. That sounds a lot like Flare Network. You know, they say, what is it? What is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Interesting. It's interesting to see that. It's very, very, very interesting to see that happen. Verifiers, posting collateral, reward pools. Yeah. So, I've been looking at the Axelar token. Pookie Pookie says, I believe Flare will be the one to retire us. I hear you, my friend. I hear that. I hear that. I'm glad you guys got a lot of FLR tokens too, man. It's going to be really good for you guys. I know it is. Really, really good. I just could only imagine how much FLR I could have had if I would have had my Celsius FLR, been able to wrap that, delegate that. I mean, starting out with, nice numbers. That would have been sweet. So I find that to be interesting that Ripple announces their and Band Protocol did the same thing, by the way. Band Protocol, which is like the Oracle, mentions this as well. Because I know Band is hooked up, Ripple hooked up with Band for the Oracle, which I thought was interesting. I know a lot of people were like, why didn't they, kind of go the Flare route? And my guess is that a lot of it has to be with them Flare being early to this game. Or new, I should say, new to the game. But here's this interesting interview. How many of you guys saw this interview here? This is actually recorded live for BlockStars. Let me share some of this. This is some interesting stuff in this video.
Episode of BlockStars, Ripple's podcast that features leaders and developers in crypto and blockchain to discuss the latest trends, technologies, and the real-world problems being solved. I'm your host, Ripple CTO David Schwartz. Today, we're broadcasting directly from the XRPL Zone stage in Seoul, South Korea, with the CTO of Axelar, Yorgos Vlachos. plays a pivotal role in transforming how blockchains communicate and collaborate across the industry. Together, we'll explore the intricate world of blockchain interoperability and the cutting-edge solutions Axelar brings to the table. Thank you for joining me today here at XRPL's own Seoul and from all corners of the globe. Let's dive into an engaging discussion about the future of blockchain interoperability and the innovative strides being made by Axelar. Tell us a little bit more about what you do and what Axelar does.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's my third time in Seoul in the last year. We're going to be doing so much together that I'm very excited to spend time with the community here. My background, I've been in the space for about 7-8 years. At this point, I did my degrees at MIT together with my co-founder, and we're part of the 3-person founding team for the Algorand blockchain.
So that I didn't know. I didn't know the CTO over here at Axelar was part of the founding 3-member team for Algorand. I did not know that. His name is Georgios Vlachos. Did not know that about Axelar.
Where we built one of the first proof-of-stake blockchains in the space. And long story short, once we launched Algorand, we realized that it was an island. It was very hard to onboard users from any other chain. And we recognized that many other blockchain projects in the space are going to have the same problem. So about 4.5 years ago, we decided to solve this problem, not just for Algorand, for the wider ecosystem and connect all blockchains.
Would you say interoperability is your company's focus?
That's the sole thing. One thing and do it well.
So why do you think interoperability is important?
Many reasons. Well, first of all, the space is completely unusable without interoperability, right? Just to make an analogy with the traditional, financial system, imagine, I have my bank account in Bank of America and you're a vendor, you have a Citibank account and, imagine if my credit card couldn't pay in your bank account and transfer funds. We wouldn't be able to do anything, or everything would be centralized in one institution. You wouldn't have a free market competition. It would be a very bad situation. And in Web3, we have a similar situation where for a very long time, blockchains have been islands. You have an asset like XRP, one of the biggest assets in the space, and it's still not available in DeFi, right? The holders cannot put it to productive use, and it really limits what people can do with those assets, right? So interoperability is innovative, not because it's going to invent new use cases. The innovative use cases are going to be built on your ecosystem, on the XRPL ledger, and some of the other blockchains in the space. But interoperability really makes blockchain usable, right, and accessible to all users. So it's not about novel use cases, but it's about making the existing use cases easy to use.
So what are the components of an interoperability solution?
I'd say there's a few different ways to design an interoperability solution, but the most popular approach have been one where you have some entity that passes messages and assets from one chain to another. Right? And historically, I think the first interoperability solutions were centralized exchanges, right? Like Binance, where they have a big company that custodies assets on behalf of users. You give them assets on one chain, you do a swap in their platform, they give you assets on the other chain. And the next evolution of that was, of course, all of the centralized prison solutions that have been getting hacked over multiple years, billions of dollars being lost. And with Axelar, we took like a fundamentally different approach, where we're like, we don't want to have one person in the middle that's just passing assets back and forth between chains. Instead, we're going to have a blockchain that's decentralized and going to have similar security guarantees as existing blockchains, right? So you cannot just, if you're not.
A lot of the stuff he is saying and has done is just very, 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 very familiar. It's very, very similar, I should say, to Layer Networks. Chuck Calloway is in the building. How are you, Chuck? Axelar chart does look really good. Yes, indeed. Van Decken says, yes, agreed. My big bag is XRP, but it's FLR's first bull run, so the gains could be huge. Yeah, it could be huge, right? Really could. Could be huge. It's interesting. But in this video, this dude goes on and says a lot of things are claiming to be decentralized, but they're not decentralized. Let's take some more lesson here. Anyone else check in? Did I miss I appreciate you guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button, guys, if you didn't do so on the way in. There's no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick. Go smash the like and then come back and hang out with the Crypto Siege and fam. All right, let's go back to that video. One of the first three at Algorand. I didn't know that. So essentially, it was there to build Algorand. Did you guys know that about the CTO at Axelar? I didn't know.
For a hacker, you cannot target one individual and steal the whole funds. You would have to compromise dozens of different validators that are geographically distributed and independent organizations.
So is the idea that you build a blockchain that's specifically designed to be an interoperability blockchain, then you just connect it to all of the blockchains that you want to be able to interoperate with each other?
Exactly. So it's kind of like the upchain thesis, if you think about it. Every blockchain can specialize in one thing. I think of like, even XRPL ledger, I mean, it's going to be general purpose, but it's going to have a very big focus on RWAs, right? And it makes sense to specialize. For Axelar, the specialty is interoperability. And just to take a step back and explain why we need a blockchain, if you look at all of the previous solutions that got hacked for billions of dollars in total, effectively what they did is that they would typically have the core team or a founder that was holding all of the funds in some ledger, or God knows where they have the funds. It would work well for 1, 2, 3 years. And then eventually they got compromised, someone got access to the key and would steal all of those funds, right? So how do we decentralize this process? Well, the only way we know how to decentralize an entity is by launching a blockchain, right? So we launched a blockchain. It has like crypto economic security, like all the other blockchains. And it today has a decentralized validator set of 75 validators and growing. But that was the main thing. We wanted decentralization, and the best way to get decentralization is by launching a blockchain.
But blockchains don't usually keep secrets, right? Like the Bitcoin blockchain can't keep a secret. The XRPL can't keep a secret, because you need to be able to somehow sign transactions to release other currencies. Somehow you have to keep a secret somewhere.
That's right. So it's the validators, right? On every blockchain, the validators' shares are secret, right? So effectively, when you do a cross-chain transaction through Axelar, the validators have to collectively sign a cross-chain operation and approve the transaction. And unless you can attack, corrupt the majority of the validators, you will not be able to fabricate a cross-chain operation.
So what's a typical validator quorum look like?
It's stake weighted, so maybe today is like 40 out of the 75 validators, and we're looking to decentralize more and more over time. But just to give you a sense, I think the next closest competitor, which is Wormhole, has 19 validators. It's fully permissioned, and you need to compromise 12 of them, so like 4 times less distributed. And then there's like some others, like Layer 0, some of the ones that got hacked as well, that have a very small number of validators, and often you don't even know. It's like 3, 4 validators, and that's it.
Are the validators anonymous, or are they known, or is it up to them whether they want to disclose identity or not?
I mean, for the majority, there's no transparency in most cross-chain solutions, so like we don't really know. But for Axelar, it's fully transparent set, and it's exactly the same model as other blockchains, right? So if you look at most of the proof-of-stake blockchains in the space, the validator set is usually known, right? These are usually like big entities that are trusted for validating a network. But of course, you can run a node anonymously as well, right? So it's a combination of mostly known operators and a bunch of unknown ones. And I'd say the distribution of nodes is very similar to some of the other big chains, right? So, which is good because you want to replicate the level of security of the chains we connect, right? We cannot be more secure than the chains we connect, because if a chain breaks, things can go wrong. So want to replicate the same level of security.
Right. So for example, if there was a double spend on Bitcoin, you have to be careful that you don't bridge a transaction that Bitcoin later decides didn't happen.
Exactly. And that's why we also like how the validators fully validate its individual chain. And that's something else that's actually quite interesting with Axelar, because we have a blockchain. It operates in a hub and spoke architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So effectively, you can build custom connections from any chain to Axelar, and you can decide how you want to secure that connection, right? So, with XRPL, because not with the EVM, but with the original XRP ledger, we have to build a very custom integration, right? But once we build this bridge between XRPL and Axelar, and we can pass some information between XRPL and Axelar, we can forward to any other chain like Solana, Ethereum, and so on. So This scales very well.
This scales very well. Now they got to do a custom integration. With the XRPL ledger, but once that's done, then he says he can forward it to the other changes for interoperability like Solana, etc. So this Axelar thing feels very much like a sleeper. I did not know that it was merely a blockchain. First of all, I didn't know it was a blockchain. And then I didn't know that it was a blockchain solely for their sole focus is interoperability. I think that's interesting. Yeah, I think that's really, really interesting. Hi, Joe's in the building. What's going on, bro? Van Decken says actually from Yorkshire, England, but New York City for 20 years. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. My old stomping grounds, NYC. I appreciate you checking in, Van Decken. Brother Crypto says 100% like FLR. Now, Brother Crypto, do you feel like Axelar is in their lane and Flare Networks is in their lane? And they're both kind of leveraging speciality and then leveraging this concept of collateralization, for security, ethos on scalability and decentralization. Those are the things that I'm finding to be very similar, that they have in common with each other. I think that is, any case. I remember it was 2 or 3 days ago, Brother Crypto. I was listening to my guy, Virtual Banking, and at the last minute of his video, he brings up Axelar. And I was like, why is he bringing up Axelar? And then he said he's going to be watching it. And I'm like, watching it? What are you watching it for? Is it because they hooked up with Ripple and Ripple, whatever? But after I watched this video, this interview with Schwartz and this guy a couple of times, it hit me because in the video they talk about, essentially Ripple was on like a little interviewing spree, like, headhunting type deal. And they were interviewing people. So people were lining up, if you will, to be interviewed, to be the provider for Ripple in terms of this bridge and this interoperability thing. Yeah. And this guy here said that Ripple and Schwartz ran him and his team through the ringer. It was like, we've heard decentralization. We keep hearing people talk about decentralization, but tell me about your decentralization. Yeah, we heard you got some, you can do some scalability, but tell me about, because, I can look and see if there's real decentralization, and I can look and see if there's real scalability that can be done here. And I can look and see if there's real security. And they joke about it in an interview because the guy from Axelar was saying his team, said David knew all the questions to ask and where to look to see for all these things. And that David was like a madman. He was like a madman on security and decentralization, like a madman. Like putting these guys through the ringer, right? Putting these guys through the ringer. And it makes me think about something. And at first I thought, well, where could Ripple, if they had to, where could they have chosen Flare Networks? And they could have chosen Flare Networks for the data thing, right? I don't think the Axelar, well, remember, Flare was going to do the Axelar thing, right? Remember, they were going to, what was it called? Pookie. What was the thing that they decided to shelve? Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but they shelved that, remember? And they decided, we'll do it layer 0 and what's the other one? We'll let layer 0 and Stargate. Stargate. Yeah, we'll let them handle it. Layer cake. There it is, Pookie. Thank you, my friend. Kind of feels like this is another reason to say that was a very good call by Hugo and the team. Right? Now it's seeming like that was a really, really good call. Now we said it was a good call when they announced it. I know some people weren't excited about it. But Axelar has a head start in that thing, right? They kind of got a head start down that thing. Right. And let's not spread Flare Networks and the team too far. Let them specialize. Pookie's like, you go. Right? So, yeah. So Ripple went with BAM protocol for oracles, price fees and stuff instead of Flare Networks. My only thing to that is probably because Ripple has a company with board members, right? And I would guess that, hey, these prices haven't been right. They've been kind of off. They're just kind of getting their feet underneath them. So, it's probably going to be some early days mistakes. Like Ripple can't really afford to have that conversation with board people, right? Now, band protocol has been around for a little bit, right? Been around for a little bit. What's going on, Legendary? Blue wrenches are here. So that would be my guess. Why? And probably when Ripple was ready to move, I mean, Flare Networks is still launching, right? Not live yet with something. Who knows what it's going to look like in the future? You never know. You never know. Right? You never know. So that was, again, let me see if I should play some more of this video. Play a little bit more here. See what we got.
Scales very easily because with one simple integration, you can get access to the whole ecosystem. But the other thing you can do is that if one chain breaks, you can cut off the connection there. While with virtually every other bridging solution in the space, they operate in a pairwise manner. So if a chain happens to break, the damage can contaminate to every other chain. So maybe there's like a $10 double spend on a chain, but then you can steal like thousands of dollars on every other chain. And it scales by the number of connections, can be pretty bad. What does the user experience using the bridge look like? It's improving over time. So today, what you can do, there's multiple bridges built on top of Axelar. So Axelar itself, it's just a messaging layer that passes messages across different chains. And on top of that layer, people can build cross-chain applications like bridges. Right? The most popular bridge on Axelar is Squid, which is also going to be launching on XRPL. And what it allows to do is start with any asset on any chain. Let's say you hold some Sol on Solana, and with one transaction from your wallet, you should be able to receive the XRP token or any other token on XRPL. Under the hood, there's many transactions that happen in between. There's a swap on the origin chain, typically. A bridging transaction, you bridge some stable coin, you swap again, but all that's abstracted away from the user, right? So you can compose these sophisticated sequences of cross-chain interactions and abstract them away so the user only sees the initial transaction and the end result, and the whole flow can take like 10 to 20 seconds, and we're actively improving the time as well.
That's awesome. So
yeah, 10 to 20 seconds. That's pretty fast. Like Stargate they got a fast and a faster. They got a 4-minute for 2 cents, for example, and maybe 2 cents more. They got a fast for 1 minute. And seconds is pretty fast. We're talking about bridging from one chain to another. So in 10 to 20 seconds, that's really fast. For bridging, You got blockchains that can't do a regular transaction on their chain in 10 or 20 seconds.
So what is Axelar going to do for the EVM sidechain?
So first of all, we're going to connect it.
You're going to provide a bridge, I would hope.
But yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't think we're going to enable like any, novel use cases. It's more about enabling these big asset issuers like OpenID, and we have a very close relationship with them, incredible team, and we're going to enable them to link their instance of like their stablecoin that's going to launch on XRPL with the instance of their stablecoin on Ethereum, right? So a holder of the asset can bridge it over to XRPL EVM with zero slippage, right? So you can do these interesting things where if you work closely with the issuer of the asset, you can allow them to move the assets without friction across chains. But the one thing I'm most excited about happening on XRPL is finally opening up DeFi opportunities for XRP, right? Again, it's the biggest asset with one of the biggest communities that doesn't have DeFi, right? And being able to use this asset productively in DeFi, I think is going to be a big thing. And then XRPL, Ripple obviously has a very unique edge when it comes to RWAs. And with Axelar, we're working with most of the RWA issuers as well. So it's not something I think we've done a deep dive yet with your team, but it's something we're prioritizing now and just bringing new RWAs over to XRPL. And I think you guys have a big edge there, and we can make it probably the biggest chain, right, for RWA adoption. So I think there's some interesting directions there.
So you kind of already answered the next question, which is what would you foresee as the evolution of the EVM sidechain? So I assume real world asset tokenization is probably big.
Yeah, and I'm sure you have other plans, right, to make it like a general purpose chain and like have all kinds of applications. But like, I don't know, to me, it just makes sense to focus on one thing and do it really well. Obviously, like a lot of people across the globe use Ripple for remittances. So it's, again, a natural evolution to just have all kinds of assets. Myself personally, I use a lot of these RWA issuers, and there's not too many of them, right? I think until last year, we didn't even have tokenized treasuries on chain. But now if you know how to use crypto, it's very easy to just get access to like treasury yields, which you'd have to go through hoops, like they're not even available in a lot of parts of the world, right? So bringing those assets over, yeah, I think it's going to be super interesting.
So tell us a little more about where you see Axelar going. What is Axelar going to be developing, and as this industry changes?
So Axelar itself, I don't think we're gonna change what we're doing, at least for the foreseeable future.
Just better,
right? Or more secure,
cheaper,
and wider coverage. So we have this big launch, again, let's call it an Axelar V2, where we're launching smart contracts on top of Axelar, and then chains will be able to even launch their own contracts on Axelar and connect their chain. So it's going to be fully permissionless to connect the chain, single point of integration, and then you get access to 60 plus chains we have today, and hopefully like hundreds by next year. So it's becoming like more and more of a developer platform. But effectively, I strongly believe that, when you're working on interoperability, we've seen so many things go wrong in the past, right? And I was kind of disappointed personally to see so many builders just taking shortcuts, launching their own centralized bridges fast. This is so against the ethos of the space, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
but it's hard. It's hard to do it right, and it's very easy. It's much cheaper and easier to say that you're secure than to actually be secure. And very few people look too closely.
And it's just hard to build, right? It took us more than 2 years just to initially launch Axelar, and with a very limited feature set. We've been building for like 4.5 years at this point. And I understand why a lot of people are like, oh, okay, we're going to launch something centralized and then we're going to decentralize later. But I think everyone underestimates how hard it is to build decentralized infrastructure. And I mean, to this point, like 2.5 years later, after Axelar launched, there's not a single other decentralized interoperability layer in the space, right? Everyone is still describing how they're going to decentralize later, but we're still the only one, right? And I think it's because from day one, we understood it's going to be a hard problem, and we understood there's going to be like eventually trillions of dollars at stake, right? And like Ripple, we do a lot of work with financial institutions. And as we talk to those folks, they're like, yeah, but can we trust your technology, right? Because there's all these hacks, and if we want to put trillions of dollars on this technology, like we can't take any risks, right? So it's hindering adoptions, even for us that have done things the right way, it's very hard sometimes to convince serious players that, this technology is secure just because of all these problems. So a lot of work to be done still.
It was quite a challenge for us doing due diligence around the various different companies that pitched us, ways to build an EVM sidechain. And of course, everybody swore that it would be decentralized. Everybody swore that it would be secure. And it did take, quite a bit of digging to make sure that we actually got, the right solutions in place to have something that would stand the test of time.
Even with us, I don't know if you remember the first call we had, it was like 3 years ago. It was a very heated discussion, a lot of back and forth. And that's when I knew, you really cared about the product and you really cared about security. And took a while to convince your team, but I think, at this point, you've done your diligence and very, very happy that.
Yeah, we definitely had people say, you really know what questions to ask. Where the bodies would be buried if bodies were buried. And yeah, it took us a while, but I think we found the right partners. So I love to torture my guests.
So in any case, that's some good stuff there. It really is. What's going on, crypto? Got crypto, we got brother crypto. The whole fam is here. I appreciate you guys checking in. Live stream, no video. Interesting. Live stream, no grill. You guys don't get to see this grill. So interesting interview, guys. I really do. It's a fascinating interview for me. It's bigger than what I thought. I would say it's more to XLR than first meets the eye. I was just not aware of it. First of all, I wasn't aware of it, that it was a blockchain for interoperability. This Mobius thing is Mobius is going to be interesting. Again, if Ripple is announcing the announcement, that's big to me. That is big. Anyway, guys, do you know that SparkDex is ready to migrate to V3.1? It's live now. The migration to V3.1 is live. SparkDex users are now able to select the 3.1 tab on the pool page to deposit liquidity back into the pools and continue earning rewards. It's up and running, fam. It is up and running. It's up and running. I was playing around with it. I took liquidity and stuff off of V3 earlier today, and I'm going to go back into the SFLR jewel pool, I believe. If it shows up, I'm going to get back into that. Let me see. Yeah. Let's do a little bit of F-asset testing. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm still doing F-assets. Not as consistent as I was doing it, but I'm still doing it. Hope you guys as well. I probably got some redeeming to do. You know how they say you got some explaining to do? I probably got some redeeming to do. Let's do this. Let's connect real quick. Connected. All right. Share. What we got going on here? Some CFLR. Do I need anything? Let's get some more CFLR. You see the FLR address right here? You just copy that. Then you go additional assets needed. Get your CFLR here and click that. And paste in the FLR address. Hit request some constant FLR. And they sent 100. We're good to go right there. And let's get some test XRP. Copy the testnet XRP address there. And then let's see if this is working. Sometimes BitHomp is there. It's good. All right, so there it is. Copy and now paste. What happened? What happened? Oh, there it is. Shit. Okay. And I didn't put a destination tag in there. Or maybe I did. Let's see if we're going to get some testnet XRP or not. Submit it. There it is. 100 XRP. The fee drop was 13 drops, which is 0.0000. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 zeros. There it is there. All right, so let's do some redeeming first. Redeem some FTest XRP. And confirm it in your Bifrost wallet. Hope you guys are doing this with me. Let's do it together. Let's help them test together. Stress test this asset system. So there is that. And I think I can close this out and let's get some more testnet BTC, copy the testnet BTC address, go over here to top left to get testnet BTC here. And paste it in, get Bitcoins. Choose the object that will make the scale dip over, dip lower. All right, so got that as well. I redeemed, nothing to redeem, it says. Okay. Mint to BTC. Confirm it in the BTC wallet, and this is a Sonberg wallet rather. It's going to cost 7 CFLR. There that is there, fam. There it is. Send transfer by clicking. Confirm you send the transfer. Now you can speed up these fees. Let me see if I can speed up the network. Here. Click on network fee here before I hit confirm. Change it from normal to fast. What is the Satoshi Bytes? How to speed up or cancel transactions, set custom fee. There it is. Accessing fee settings when you initiate transactions, such as sending BTC. If assets, you can confirm transaction scheme. Selecting custom fee in the network screen, select custom option. You'll be able to enter manually into the fee rate in Satoshis per byte. Some dApps will recommend a fee rate for you. After entering the desired fee rate, tap confirm fee. I don't know what number to put in here, but I'll put 244 like you did. Confirm the fee. Right? I don't have enough BTC for that. Dang it. Dang it. Let's try again. Let's do 24. The 24 bytes instead of 244. And that's supposed to speed it up. So you can do the speed up thing in the Bifrost wallet, which is really, really, really cool. Let me put this in the thing for you guys in case you don't have it. How to speed up the transactions. It's pretty cool that they put that out and make it available. I'm telling you, it's a great synergy in Flow Networks. They're really catching the little things that are important. I think that's big. Yeah, I'm kind of on Sweet because I was early in it, 50 something cents, 54, 56 cents, something like that. So we'll see. I think they're doing some interesting stuff there. I don't know if it's going to have the Solana run. Like a lot of people, like my guy, Virtual Bacon was like, I don't know why people are doing Sui. And I'm like, dude, did you not see what Solana did? Solana did the same thing. Checked all the boxes for network adoption, narrative. They did a lot of the same things. Sui is doing a lot of the same things Solana did. They have the technology. Remember, Solana's community wasn't what it is today. We got to remember, Solana started in 2020. They didn't have a community that they have today, and they didn't have the things built on there that they have now. But in any case, certainly not telling you guys to get out and buy Sleep Sui. I added to my position 3 times because, again, we had some early days, and it is going up and to the right on the network adoption curve. It's outpacing Solana, and Solana is outpacing everything. So if it's out, if it crossed that line with Solana on the network adoption curve, and I think that's a good thing. So in any case, my guy Virtual Bacon was like, "Why would you buy Sui here at these prices?" He said that he thought that the drop was too steep. In other words, the next lowest consolidation kind of thing was down here at $1. He thought it was $1, like 95, 96 cents. So in any case, we'll see. We'll see. But this thing looks very, very similar to Solana. Very, very similar, right? So this is just months, right? Because they just launched. Right? I mean, so there, is it a year? A year? May. So it's been a year and a half, June, July, August, September. Almost, it's not quite it's been 16 months. It's been 16 months. And I'm telling you, if you look at Solana for 16 months, it looks very, very similar. Let me do this. So, anyway, that's what I was kind of going by. Let's go here. It's still in my 10% bag, right? Still got 90% in a combination of Bitcoin and Solana. But if we do, here's the max. Like this time frame here, April 2020 till here, November 2021, right? May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So 19 months. 7, 12, 7, 19 months. And Sui is at 14 months. So 5 months is, I don't know, October, November, December, January, February, right? February. So it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, that was 19 months. That was a crazy run. But remember here, September, that was 17 months to $188 from 62 cents. So it's going to be interesting to see. All-time high is still pretty close. Yeah, $2.17. So it's going to be interesting to see. Interesting to see, but it feels like it. We'll see. It might tap out. It might be, might tap out at $10, $5, $10. We'll see. All right, fam. I'm talking out loud. There's that link to how to speed up the transactions on your Bifrost wallet. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. It really is. All right. So there's, fam. Listen, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys putting up with my shenanigans over here. Shout out to Spend the Bits. And then what they got going on. Axelar. Interesting stuff. Interesting. Should I take a look? No, I won't do that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you checking in on a Saturday evening. Now we got college football going on. We got Major League Baseball going on. I really do appreciate you guys taking your time to come hang out with the Crypto Siege and fam. Listen, good night, my peeps, says Pookie Pookie. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.